We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news regarding the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, and the current reigning Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Now, as many of you guys have likely heard over the past couple of days, the wrestling news has been filled with speculation regarding Roman Reigns leaving WWE soon for Hollywood, and we had reported on this almost a week ago, because Roman had touched upon the fact that wrestling's not a young man's game whatsoever, and that his time would eventually come to transition into Hollywood and leaving the squared circle behind. However, things really took off regarding these rumors of Roman Reigns possibly leaving WWE on this past week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, with Roman Reigns stating the following message during his promo: "Head of the table, I'm your Tribal Chief, and I'm the greatest of all time, and when my days are done around here, which could be sooner than later, the whole world will acknowledge me." This line by Roman Reigns has simply added fuel to the rumors that Reigns is going to be sadly leaving WWE and walking out in the near future, to follow in his cousin The Rock's footsteps to Hollywood, and we have some more big news regarding the whole Roman Reigns situation. Now we will firstly clear things up a bit because according to one of our sources, Roman Reigns is not going to be leaving WWE in the immediate future, so there is reportedly no need to worry about Roman walking out of WWE for the rest of 2021 and the entirety of 2022 next year. But apparently the real concern behind the scenes in WWE is that Roman Reigns could very well be planning to walk out of WWE in 2023 from his full-time contract and pursue a career in Hollywood, with Roman Reigns then wanting to make special appearances in WWE, much like how John Cena has over the past couple of years since transitioning out of his full-time WWE contract. We have been told that Roman Reigns does not have an interest in wrestling into his 40s like so many other talents do, especially with his underlying health conditions, and that Roman Reigns feels he has really accomplished and done everything he set out to do in WWE, including having this historic Universal title reign for over a year now, and Reigns feels like he should begin to slow things down after another full-time year in 2022, and that 2023 is a very real possibility of when Roman Reigns leaves WWE from a full-time standpoint, and transitions into a part-time or special appearance kind of talent like Brock Lesnar or John Cena. However, even if Roman Reigns does wrestle part-time for WWE after 2023, Roman reportedly still does not want to be wrestling whatsoever past a certain point. So in general, Roman Reigns could very well be retired from wrestling altogether within the next 3 to 4 years. Without question, Roman Reigns has already had an incredibly successful career in WWE and has been booked as a top star for quite some time now, so it is understandable why Reigns already has aspirations of doing potentially bigger things in Hollywood soon. And again, wrestling's not a young man's sport, and an early retirement is most times much better than a late retirement, and that is the direction that Roman Reigns is apparently heading in. However, this news of Roman Reigns walking out and leaving WWE in the near future is not being received well by Vince McMahon and other backstage officials, who have put a lot of time and effort into creating Roman Reigns as the WWE's flagship star, and Vince was under the belief that he would have Roman Reigns on the full-time roster for at least 5 more years or so. So this news is disheartening for Vince McMahon, and it has caused Vince to have some serious doubt on WWE's future, which we will discuss shortly. Regardless, thankfully we will have at least another full year of Roman Reigns performing for WWE regularly, because by all means Reigns is one of the aspects of WWE that still has fans excited and intrigued by, and fan interest in WWE is lacking to a great extent overall recently, so Roman's presence is greatly needed for WWE right now. So at least Vince won't have to worry about WWE's immediate future, though things do look quite bleak once Roman does leave WWE and walks out of the company for Hollywood. With all of this said, let us know your thoughts on the real scenario of Roman Reigns leaving WWE in a couple of years, and when it is all said and done, when Roman does retire, will he go down as one of the all-time greats like Roman feels he will, or does Reigns still have a whole lot more to do in WWE before he really can be regarded at the same level as the likes of The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, etc.? Let us know down in the comment section below. Now we have the news regarding Vince McMahon being scared and worried about WWE's future, and in all likelihood being a bit worried that the WWE is going to be in trouble moving forward. Without question, things have been quite stressful behind the scenes in WWE lately, with the overall ratings and viewership for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown miraculously hitting new all-time lows every other week. And overall, WWE has been very chaotic with all the budget cuts, lackluster booking, and an unclear direction regarding the WWE's future, which seems more unstable and unclear with each passing week. Now, like we had touched upon, Vince McMahon has not been happy whatsoever to hear that Roman Reigns is already having plans of leaving WWE for Hollywood in the relatively near future, because quite simply, Vince is not prepared for a WWE without Roman Reigns at the helm in the company, with one of our sources revealing that Vince McMahon's viewpoint on the whole Roman Reigns leaving WWE for Hollywood situation being that Vince has no idea who could replace Roman as the WWE's next top star, with McMahon feeling like the current roster lacks a talent who could really take WWE to the next level or even keep the company where it is right now. Because the scary thing is that Friday Night SmackDown has been garnering some of the worst viewership of all time recently, even with Roman Reigns, the WWE's biggest full-time star, competing on the show regularly. So Vince is scared of how things would look ratings-wise once Roman Reigns is gone from the company, and how that would affect the already low viewership across both brands. Like we mentioned before, Vince McMahon is scrambling to find some new talent that have potential to be big stars in the future. Guys like Braun Breaker, Gable Steveson, and Solo Sikoa. But right now, Vince doesn't feel like anyone can be as big of a star as Roman Reigns, which is why Vince is really worried about how relevant WWE is going to be in the future, because if they can attract new viewers and keep the ones they already have, who have made it clear that Roman Reigns is one of the main reasons they watch WWE anymore to begin with, McMahon feels the company's future is currently not looking the brightest. Now, profits have reportedly never been higher for WWE, but if the ratings continue to worsen each year, which has been the pattern especially with big name wrestlers like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and others slowly leaving the company, things are going to start becoming a problem very quickly for WWE, and that's apparently why Vince feels WWE could be in trouble sooner rather than later. Now, for those of you unaware, former Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley has not been very happy with the WWE's recent booking heading into Survivor Series 2021, because as many of you are likely aware, despite the fact that Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH were the reigning Women's Tag Team Champions going into the Survivor Series pay-per-view event, Nikki ASH was sadly not booked to be a part of the Survivor Series Raw team. Something that Rhea Ripley revealed was very upsetting and a downright terrible booking call on WWE's part, with many fans agreeing with Rhea Ripley wholeheartedly that it was a bad call to only have one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions a part of the Survivor Series match, and that this simply showed how WWE view Nikki ASH, who Rhea stated is such a deserving and hardworking talent. Clearly, Rhea Ripley's not feeling the most positive when it comes to WWE right now, and it is hard to blame Rhea for feeling that way.